What's going on, football fans? It's your host, Bad Takes, with Bad Takes in Football, back with another episode for you. Excited to dive into the news about Shedeur Sanders starting for the Cleveland Browns this week. But before I do that, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I'm on my road to my first 100 subscribers. It really helps me out, and it's free for you to do. Also, make sure to like and comment on this video. How do you think Shedeur Sanders is going to do against the Las Vegas Raiders? Let's dive into today's video. Last Sunday, Dillon Gabriel went down at the end of the second quarter, which led to Shedeur Sanders starting the entire second half for the Cleveland Browns. And let's just say it was a lackluster performance from the beginning. Shedeur Sanders had a 25% completion percentage. He was 4 of 16 passing. He had 1 interception and only 47 yards to his name in that game. Now, in fairness to Shedeur, he hasn't been getting first team reps. He's been behind Dillon Gabriel or Joe Flacco this entire season. And so working with the first team is something that he is not familiar with. And going in halfway through a game against a defense like the Baltimore Ravens is not an easy task. This is a completely different show this week. Not only did Kevin Stefanski already announce that Shedeur Sanders will be the starter, which means he's going to be getting the majority of those reps working with the first team, but they're going up against the Raiders. This is a situation where Shedeur Sanders actually has a viable chance of showing the talents that he has in this game. Now, I wanted to talk a little bit about what would need to happen in order for Shedeur Sanders to be successful and be able to keep this position moving forward. I wanted to take a look at what Dillon Gabriel has done in order to see what would Shedeur Sanders have to do in order to show, hey, I'm actually a better option than Dillon Gabriel. Dillon Gabriel is 1-5 as a starting quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. He has a 59.2% completion percentage. He's thrown for 937 yards. He has 7 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. So from my perspective, that's actually pretty efficient for a rookie quarterback, especially one that was drafted in the 3rd round. Dillon Gabriel this season hasn't thrown for more than 221 yards, and he's also had no more than 2 touchdowns in a single game. And so when you look at what Shedeur Sanders has to do, for me, just based off of the amount of opportunities he's gotten and the way I feel Kevin Stefanski feels about Shedeur Sanders, if Shedeur Sanders wants to keep this job, I feel like he's going to have a really big game. And by really big game, I'm talking at least 300 yards passing and 3 touchdowns if he wants to be considered the starter moving forward. That's a huge task for Shedeur Sanders, especially with an offense that does not have a lot of weapons. The Cleveland Browns' best offensive weapon is their running back, Quinshon Judkins. Jerry Jeudy has shown in situations that he can be successful, but very rarely has he had a big game, especially this year. And so again, Shedeur Sanders having the type of performance he needs in order to keep this job, to me, is very unlikely. The best bet he actually has, and the reason why there is actually a chance, is the fact that he is playing against the Las Vegas Raiders. The Raiders defense, at best, is a middle tier defense. At best. He is going to have Max Crosby coming after him on a regular basis. I expect Max Crosby to be pretty hungry to get after Shedeur. The Raiders are already in a situation where they're unhappy as a team. There's a lot of turmoil. Geno Smith himself is telling the media to blame everything on them, including if you get a flat tire. Apparently you're allowed to blame Geno Smith for that as well. Shedeur Sanders, this is the type of game you need to be able to take advantage of. You don't get a lot of opportunities in the NFL, especially as a 5th round draft pick. When you're a quarterback drafted in the 5th round, you are seen as a backup from day one. And so for him to be able to keep this role, again, he's going to need to have a big performance here. I do like the fact that he actually has a week to prepare for this game. I know I went over those Ravens stats and how he played against them. That was obviously terrible numbers, and I think most people, if you look at that, would say he doesn't deserve to continue to start. Obviously, this is out of necessity. This is the NFL. You take advantage of the opportunities and you can prove yourself. Look at quarterbacks like Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy came in because of injuries and proved himself to be the starter for this 49ers team. If he can emulate what Brock Purdy did when he came in as a backup, you could actually see Shedeur Sanders having some success. Now, do I actually think that's going to happen? Unfortunately, no. I really do actually wish the best for this kid. I hope he's successful and has a good game against the Las Vegas Raiders. And if anything, it's a fun story to talk about. It's not every day you have NFL royalties' sons playing in the NFL. So if Dion could have a little bit of fun watching his son Shedeur out there, I'll take that and I'd be happy for him. How do you think Shedeur Sanders is going to perform? Do you think he's going to be able to prove himself and continue to be the starter for this Browns team? That's it for me today. Thank you again for watching. This is Bad Takes with Bad Takes in Football, signing out.